What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the American Mates. Now, we are doing our quarterfinal predictions for the Champions League. We're going to pick who we think is going to go through and see what happens. Last round, we had some pretty good predictions, some bad predictions, but they're all thought of carefully.
True.
The first game of the quarterfinal is going to be PSG taking on Liverpool. PSG thrashing Chelsea last round. Liverpool losing away and then bringing it back at home against Galatasaray 4-1 on aggregate. I'm gonna go with the holders here. PSG. I think they're just reaching another level here. I think Liverpool is trying to get into the Champions League and the Premier League, and I think they're gonna more focus on that rather than try and win in the Champions League because that's harder, obviously.
Yeah. That's fair. PSG did unfortunately thrash us that past round. Overall, round of 16 was a great round. Lots of goals in each game. Each tie was fun to watch, I'd say, for the most part. I think I even heard a commentary saying one of the games that it might have set the record for most round of 16 like cumulative goals ever. Not sure if that's true. I haven't
Yeah,
fact checked it, but
I, I believe
I was
it.
going to say I
It was
definitely believe it. A lot of goals, fun to watch. Specifically narrowing in on this, though, Joey did make a point. The reigning Champions League champions, PSG, have been playing pretty out of their minds. They're pretty deep. It's not as strenuous for them to focus on the league and the UCL as it might be for Liverpool, much playing in a relatively more competitive league and kind of didn't get themselves off to a great start, so they kind of have some ground to cover. It's tough to say. They played in last year's Champions League, and each team won 1-0 away. PSG ultimately going through on penalties. Almost makes me feel like Liverpool might be due here. But I think, in spite of the fact that they played a great game against Galatasaray and did win 4-0 at home, I think PSG are on another level right now. I think they made a statement in the round of 16 against Chelsea to remind the world, hey, we had some injury troubles. We made it only to the playoff. We might not have made the automatic qualification, but we're still here and we are deep and we are coming. Pause. That was horrible. Oh my gosh. But I think ultimately PSG will go through. will go through. I think it's going to be tough, but I think they'll get it done.
I think after the humiliating loss in the Club World Cup final, the not so great start in the league, not so great Champions League phase, and the not so great playoff round against Monaco, this PSG came into this round of 16 tie looking, you know what, they were playing with a chip on their shoulder. The world kind of forgot how good this team was after dismantling Inter Milan in the Champions League final. So this team was out for blood and decided to put 8 past my Chelsea. And these guys are still, I don't think people really believe how good this team is. I think they're going to be the underdogs in this tie, but I will still rock with PSG to put Liverpool to the sword. We're going to see goals galore
I hope
from
so.
one Georgian winger, Kavica Kvaratskhelia.
He's so good.
Kvaradona.
Kavada Donna, so good, man. I kind of agree with you. I feel like I don't think that was exclusive to the Chelsea tie. I think he's getting heated up for this
Yeah.
last stretch of the season. I think he's definitely going to also bring that same energy to Liverpool in this tie. And should they make it through to the semifinals, I think he's going to keep bringing that energy. Great player, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on him. Bradley Barcola too. Obviously, talk about all their attackers, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on him. Uh, we're all in agreement that Paris Saint-Germain will triumph over yet another English side.
Yep.
Which brings us to the next quarterfinal. Personally, as a neutral, I think this is going to be the best one to watch. Two teams with some great attack, storied clubs, arguably the greatest clubs in their country. Um, just champions, winners, teams with insane legacies, insane rosters. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. I actually don't I don't even know for this one, to be honest, man. These are two world class sides. Obviously, I said it in our last predictions video. Champions League is a tournament that most would say belongs to Real Madrid, at least historically speaking. It doesn't take away from the fact that Bayern have had their fair share of success in the tournament as well. And I really just think the way they're playing right now, Bayern Munich are probably the best team in world football. They've got a very deep squad. They've got a great attack. Harry Kane's playing out of his mind. Olise's playing out of his mind. Luis Diaz is playing out of his mind. Then they still have the likes of Lennart Carl, Jamal Musiala. They still have some solid guys that have been there for a while, like Goretzka. Just all around great team. The only troubles that may come to mind, as we did talk about in the last reactions video, is maybe with their goalie situation. It's been kind of an ongoing debacle recently. That's not to say that Real Madrid aren't with their fair share of injuries lately as well. Mbappe currently out, although he should be back before this tie. But all that rambling aside, I think I'm going to rock with Bayern Munich. I think they're definitely, I'm anticipating them making the final at least. I don't know if they will, but that's my not early, but early-ish prediction. I'm going to rock with Bayern.
You know, I am a Real Madrid supporter. I like Real Madrid, like their players. I do think in the Champions League, they kind of bring something different, you know? Uh, they're always, it doesn't matter whether they're playing bad or they're, being hammered, they always find a way to win. And, but Bayern definitely are, a really good team this season. One of the best teams in Europe. One of the best teams I've seen playing, like just playing soccer wise, one of the best teams. And they're pretty deep, even through injuries. Their starting lineup is still pretty good. Real Madrid has injuries, and they've played well. This is gonna be a close one. I could see this game honestly going to pens because I think I think it's gonna end up being tied after two legs. But you know, I have to go. I have to go with Bayern Munich. They're going through. Come on,
Vamos! Let's go, Bayern. I hope so, man.
Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich will go through.
Get Madrid out of there.
I've been saying that this Bayern Munich team is the clear-cut favorite. But, I've been keeping tabs on Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, and I'm beginning to notice against teams like Dortmund, teams like Leverkusen, they seem to struggle. Any team with an ounce of quality, they seem to struggle against. Their goalie situation isn't great. Real Madrid's defense probably isn't that great either. But that Bayern Munich defense, can it stop informed Vinicius? Can it stop Mbappe? Can it stop Valverde bombing down that right wing? I don't think so. This tournament was built for Real Madrid. That's why they lifted it 15 times. Whoever's at the helm, Ancelotti, Zidane, Arbeloa, These guys know what it takes to win the Champions League. Give me Real Madrid to keep the times going on the hunt for number 16.
Fair, fair. Definitely could
Yeah.
see this one going either way. I think this might be one of the best UCL matchups we have in a long time. I hope so. I hope so. Hopefully they both come to play and both come to win. Play some good attacking football. That's all I can ask for as a neutral observer. Next, not so neutral in this one. Barcelona taking on someone they know very, very well in Atletico Madrid. These teams are no strangers, that's for sure. Both coming from Spain. Um, you know, they've had some interesting games this year already. Barca beat them in the league the first time around, and then in the Copa del Rey, Atletico slacked them at home 4-0, and then Barca made a noble attempt to come back. They only could get 3 and ended up going out 4-3 on aggregate, but I don't know, man. I have this feeling about Barcelona this year, this sneaky feeling. I know that high line has its risks, and they are prone to letting up some goals where you're just like, where did that come from? And I've talked about the pedigree of Simeone in these knockout stage games. He's definitely one of those coaches and that you just kind of always feel like you want to back when their backs are against the wall, especially just all around solid defending. But Barcelona's attack is so good right now, and they're playing like they love the game, and that's when they're most dangerous. Lamine Yamal's having a good year. Rafinha's having a good year. Even Lewa, at his old age, is still one of the best strikers in the world. Uh, I am gonna rock with Barcelona. I think it's gonna be a very tough game, but I really do think that Barcelona want to come for that Champions League this year. I feel like they want to remind the world of who they are. It's been 10 years since they've won one. I think if they had to sacrifice the league, which they are in first right now, I think they would. I think they really want to get it. I think Lamine Yamal wants to add that to his trophy cabinet. I'm gonna rock with Barca to make it through to the next round.
Yeah, I think Barcelona will take this one. I think Atletico Madrid have a good team and they have the experience of playing in the Champions League. They have good players, Griezmann, Alvarez, but I think Barcelona's quality and Barcelona's depth will be a little too much for Atletico Madrid, and I think that'll see him past Atletico Madrid.
Not going to be around the bush here. I think Barcelona are just severe. Just I don't think it's going to be that close. I think Barcelona are just miles ahead of Atletico Madrid. These guys still play 4-4-2, 3-5-2, park the bus against Girona. This team stinks. They shouldn't even be in the competition anymore. They're lucky they got Tottenham Hotspur, a wounded puppy. But Barcelona showed the world that they are here to play when they put 7 past the Newcastle side today. So I will take Barcelona and Lamine Yamal to batter Atletico Madrid.
All right. I hope so. I hope it's a battering, man. I really do. But speaking of hopes and dreams, our last tie of this quarterfinal, Ethan's very own Sporting versus the current enemy of the world, Premier League leaders at the moment of filming, Arsenal. And these teams they actually have, despite them being Portuguese and English, they have played each other an okay amount in the past few years. They met in the Europa League. I think it was round of 16 a couple years back, where Sporting ultimately went through on penalties, and they did play in the Champions League last season or season before.
Uh,
Season before, I think.
Last season.
Or no,
or
it
yeah.
was last
No,
season.
last
It was
season.
last season. And Arsenal did smack Sporting 5-1. Fortunately, obviously, Arsenal is not the Arsenal of old. They've been playing with a different level this year than the Arsenal we usually know. As annoying and frustrating as their play style may be to some people, and as insufferable as their fans may be sometimes, they are getting a lot of results. It feels like they want to win it all this year. It feels like they want to come for the Champions League, the Prem, whatever they can get their hands on. Because Lord knows they haven't won too much. But uh I would love to see Sporting win this. And as much as I was messing with Bodo Glimt, this isn't like a hindsight 2020 statement. I do think Sporting have a much better chance of beating Arsenal than Bodo would have. I just don't feel like their sit back and react play style would have worked. Kind of like we talked about in some other videos. I feel like Arsenal are kind of used to that, and Sporting, I feel like they have a level that people aren't appreciating. As a Porto fan who watches a lot of Portuguese soccer, I feel like Sporting are a really solid squad this year, and they play some really good attacking football. They score lots of goals. Luis Suarez is really good. They've got some great wingers, good midfielders, and a pretty solid defense. You could say the same for Arsenal. They got a really deep team too, so it's tough. As much as I want to say Sporting are going to win this, I think Arsenal are going to squeak this one out. I think it's going to be really close, either penalties or win by one. Sporting might even like win or tie at the Avalon, and then maybe at the Emirates, Arsenal will bang out a 1-goal win. But I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people who don't know Portuguese soccer are going to think. But give me Arsenal ultimately, as much as I hate to say it.
You know what? Arsenal stink. I'm sick and tired of watching this shit club. All the Arsenal fans, you guys don't know soccer. You think wrestling and WWE belongs in soccer and it doesn't. Um
True.
and I'm gonna back Sporting here. I think Sporting are riding the high. And I think it's gonna continue. I think Luis Suarez is gonna score and show Gyökeres what a real striker looks like. Now, give me Sporting going to the semifinal.
That would be insane. Oh boy.
You know, last round, probably the greatest match I've ever seen Sporting play in my entire life. Pure domination. We did knock these guys out of the Europa League a couple years ago. Yeah, last year they might have beaten us 5-1, but that was when we were a very one-dimensional team. Dumped the ball into Gyökeres and let him run. Now we shipped off that Swedish, I don't even know what to call him, Swedish shit striker to Arsenal, and he sucks. So we called up a little second division team in Spain, said, "Give me your striker." And this guy has already shown me he's better than Gyökeres in the build up with his feet, everything. This is a new team under a new coach. We're not afraid of you wrestling our players in the box. We're not afraid of your corner kick tactics because Sporting are going to go and knock out Arsenal. We're going to keep this fairy tale going. You know what? Real Madrid and Bayern Munich aren't the favorites. Sporting are the favorites. They are the favorites. Champions League glory is coming back to Lisbon, and it's going to be on the green side.
Portugal. Hey, that would be great for the coefficient, man. Great as a Chelsea fan. All around. As a Porto fan, this is the most you're ever going to see me cheer for Sporting in my life. When those games
Come
come
on.
next month, I am going to be a Sporting ultra. I will tell you that much for sure. Hopefully they can add a new scalp to the collection. They got a couple big wins so far in the Champions League, and for the sake of Portugal and the sake of football, I hope it continues, man. I really do. I think they have the firepower to get it done. They can make some goals out of nothing for sure. So let's see it. Juve Leos, come loud.
Come
Come loud and
on.
proud. Come on. We need you guys. Let me check. First leg is at
First
Sporting.
again, Alvalade.
Ooh, 90 minutes in the Avalade's a long time, man. A long time.
Hey, all we have to do is put up a Bodo Glimt performance, and then they're not scoring 4 on us at the Emirates.
Let's go. Do it for all of us. But that being said, that concludes this quarterfinals prediction. Obviously, a little bit of a shorter one than some of our past predictions because there's only 4 games. So we
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know what you think is going to happen. Let us know if you agree or disagree with any of our takes. Keep the likes, comments, subs coming. We've been loving all the support. You guys have been showing a lot of support. We really appreciate that. So keep it coming. We're trying to get to 150 subs. And we will see you guys after the first leg for our reactions.
Sir.